Good morning, Josue. He's right on it, saying "Let's go." So, good morning, my man. Like it, the end screen wasn't even the intro screen wasn't even done, and he was on it.
I
Beauty.
love it. I love his enthusiasm.
Yeah. So I should say for people that are watching on YouTube, Facebook, X, right? Um, this is a live kind of morning, almost like a we have never talked about it, but it's almost like a recreation of a morning drive show, but for people in construction and real estate. We've been doing it for about maybe a little more than 2 years now, right? I would say.
I think we're just approaching the second year, right? We should do
Yeah.
a celebration.
Yeah, we're close. That needs
Always
to get on
reasons
the.
to do that.
Yes, Stephanie Crepeau has been working on finding us a venue. So
I actually keep getting emails from a place that I grew up in, haven't been back to.
Can you hear Mike?
I
Can you hear me?
Mike. Yeah, I hear him.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't hear him.
Bolarama in Southie, they have a liquor license and everything.
Oh, that would be fun. Do they have a
You-
small?
You're CC'd on the email somehow, some way from the woman. You know, they always reach out, and we keep getting these text messages from different organizations and podcast people asking us to. You were CC'd on one of them, I believe.
Huh? I haven't seen the bowl. I don't think I've seen the Bolarama one, but we get pictures all the
I'll
time.
forward- I'll forward you.
This is weird. I can't hear Mike. Mike, can you hear me?
It's funny because that's how my kids are too. I'm talking, they just don't hear me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. What do you?
Yeah, we're hearing them. I'm hearing you fine, Mike. Do you want to? Do you hear me,
Can't
Mike?
hear me. Yeah. Can you hear
Okay.
Joe? I'm asking her if she can hear you.
Yeah, can you hear me, Reg?
I can hear you. I can't hear Mike.
Interesting.
I don't know if this is going to screw things up. Do you want to try and leave and come back?
I'll go out, come back. Want me to
No,
go?
no, not you.
No, not.
I think it'd be Reg.
Let me try. Hold on.
While you're doing that, I'll let everybody know what we're going to talk about. So we're going to talk about Chelsea changing the rules for property owners and managers, Chelsea, Massachusetts. A little update on HUD delaying the rollout of Energy Code, more delaying the rollout of Energy Code. LA giving some relief to. Now you can't hear me, Mike?
No, I can hear you.
Oh, okay. I saw you shaking your head.
No, because the LA thing just has me perplexed.
Yeah, so LA easing permitting on the Olympics. And then I always want to say brothel. They got to change the name.
I know. That's what I kept having a hard time with.
The town of Bothell in Oregon does some pretty interesting things on the zoning front, and we're going to cover that topic. So, all right. Hopefully, we didn't lose Reggie for the show, but where do you want to start, Mike?
I don't know. Each one of these things has some interesting. How you doing, Rich? Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now, loud and friggin' clear.
I'm the only one without my headphones on, so.
Yeah. Before we kick into it, as always, it's funny. I haven't had a frog in my throat during the day, but both weeks we get this show, and all of a sudden, I don't know what it is. But thanks to Citywide, as you see up in the top corner, right above my finger there. Look at that trick, getting good. Sponsor the Mass Construction Show, sponsor of the Mass Construction Rundown. We got to make sure Pete and maybe the whole team goes to the live show that we're going to do. We've got the Mass Construction Rundown hoodies for our regular listeners. And that I'm shooting for end of February. Hopefully I can pull it off. I got messages from quite a few regulars that they want to attend. So that should be fun. But thanks.
Do we have a venue? I know I might have missed that part.
Yes.
When you couldn't hear me.
Yeah, your big mouth.
Possible venue, but
in Southie.
Yeah,
but no, they have parking, right?
Yeah, parking.
Are we going to the teachers union?
Street. Yeah, you can go there too.
Josue loves Citywide. All right, so Where did you want to start, Mark? Mike, you were starting to say.
Why don't we start with the mortgage thing? Because that's interesting that it's gone private, and because I have a bit to say about that here in Massachusetts, even.
Okay, so Illinois is looking to pass a law that says if you're looking to, there it is on the screen, if you're trying to pull a building permit, if you're behind on your mortgage, that they won't issue you a permit. My take on it is, I mean, God, like, just stop with adding more layers of bullshit to the permitting process. Just stop. And how
But
do
it's none of their business.
But now that's jumping over into private. All they're doing is they're doing the leg. They're breaking legs for private companies.
Like, it's none of their business whatsoever.
Now they're mixing private company into it. And I'll talk in a minute. We have this in Massachusetts to an extent, and it mentions it, but it doesn't get into it. But not like this. It doesn't jump over on the private side.
It's a little different. You're right. So it's funny. I lumped Chelsea and this one together because neither one of these are adding any value, right? In the Illinois case, who benefits from this?
No, nobody. The company,
banks,
right? And that's my problem. Is right. Everyone screams and bitches and moans about corporation and corporate America, and now you have the municipality doing the legwork for people who aren't paying their mortgage, or what's the reason why they're not paying their mortgage? Now, the flip side of me says, what are you pulling a permit for if you can't afford to pay your mortgage? Right.
Well, yeah. Like, and how many of these permits are actually getting pulled? Right. Like,
right. But it could be anything. There are scenarios where you're going to come across it, but don't do the leg breaking for corporate, like for a corporation. The town should not be doing that. Are they getting kickbacks? Like, are they going to get some sort of better rating? Why? What's the benefit to the municipality, and why even go this route?
Yeah, and what if I'm a contractor? I did a renovation at a house and I never got paid. Should they be saying, "Oh, hey, you didn't pay this last guy. We're not going to issue a permit"? That's none of their business.
None of their business.
No, that's up to the contractor. They file the mechanics lien and whatnot. That's a whole different process, right? There's a process for that.
Yeah, but you see, this is a state level bill.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm sure there are banks that are saying, "Hey, we want this."
Right.
Because their constituents, the voters, aren't looking for this. Right. So there's big banks that are looking for it. The mortgage holders are looking for it. They're saying, "Hey, let's put the squeeze, make sure we're getting paid." And that there you go.
So in Massachusetts, it's not like 48 zoning. It's 40. And I think it's 57 is the number. And the only reason why I know is because over the years I dealt with it so much. So at Mass General Law 40, Section 57 is municipalities can withhold permits, licenses, like for businesses, all of those things, if you are in arrears in taxes or bills or even fines for that matter, right? So they can say, no more permits, no more nothing. Now, here's something that people don't realize, and they did it in the dead of night. It used to be 1 year in arrears. If I didn't pay taxes, I didn't pay a bill, I didn't pay a fine within 1 year, you had to wait that year. And then after the year, now the municipality could go ahead and stop you from getting permits. Well, guess what? I had a case come up with a municipality. The town actually asked me to look into it. And they removed the 1 year provision. Now it's any time. There's no statute, no limitation or no finish line. It's just you owe taxes, you owe fines, they can withhold permits. So they removed the timeline, and there was no notice of that. There was no public, notification.
But also, I'm completely fine with that. Like, it's like if you owe a store money or you owe somebody money and then you show up and you say, "Hey, will you give me a permit?" Like, no, I'm not giving you. Can I buy more stuff? You know what I mean? Like, no, you haven't paid me for the last stuff.
Yeah, right? But like you're saying, though, that's the municipality handling the municipality's
business.
Laundry. Yeah.
Yes. Not carrying water for the banks. And like Cathal says, I love a good mechanics lien.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right, but there's a process, just like there's a process for a bank if they're not getting their mortgage payments, right? And it has
Yep.
nothing to do with the building department. And
Right.
let's not add another effing friggin' thing to the building department to do. It's
Yep.
stupid. And then
And
there's
who's like, again, I say the same thing all the time, but who's going to track that? Like now
So it's- on the bank side, or how we do it right now.
no, I'm talking about like if this gets passed.
So
then-
it probably do the
nobody.
same way we do it in Massachusetts. The way you're supposed to do it is like quarterly, I think it says, or it used to be annually, that a list is distributed of all people that owe taxes, fees, whatever it might be. That's what's supposed to happen in Massachusetts.
the municipal most wanted.
Oh, they'd come to the building department and they'd say, "Hey, you issued a permit to Joe Schmo. Well, he has an unpaid water bill from." Like, how are we? What we issue permits? We have hundreds of people come through this. Like, how are we supposed to know? Well, you know, and then all of a sudden the list starts coming around.
But
to
then why is
departments.
it the building why is it the building department's problem again? Like
everything-
Well, I'm fine if
Is-
it's the town business.
yeah, but it's just like it's always the building department.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's fair. We could just go to the old like Wild West where they would hang most wanted signs on the thing. Fucking,
Listen,
You still
Teddy
see those,
Smith.
those
Teddy Smith
pictures
didn't
of-
pay his water bill.
the
Fucking
building
look out for
department
him.
does everything. I was getting calls from the town administrator, town manager in a certain town because they were unruly people in town hall, and they would call the building department and ask us to come down and escort the people out of the office.
Yeah,
And that's not once. That was multiple times that happened.
You guys, the big bad tough guys,
Yeah.
the leg
See
breakers.
with the building code, I guess. I don't know.
yep. And then they also have something in there that talks about it would only apply to populations with 500,000 or less,
Oh yeah.
and 200,000 and less.
Well,
Like,
I didn't get that. What
those are
was
both
that?
the same.
I
But
don't
yeah,
know. There's no details, so I wasn't sure what that was referring to.
Yeah, and then here's the other thing where there's going to be some poor people that are trying to get their permits, and there's some confusion. No, I made the payment, but the bank didn't get it, or like, and then you're going to have to go into what, another death loop of
But
trying.
why would I need to
sort that
present
out?
like my statements to the build? Like I still don't understand.
Oh, so with electronic permitting, what happens now is when the town assessor town collector is tied into the electronic permitting, they put a hold on the address. That's a
Say that again. I was reading a comment. Say it again.
So with electronic permitting, I mean, you can look at it as a downside, but again, if it's the municipality, it's one thing. So the collector or any office for that matter that's tuned into the electronic permitting can put a hold on that address. So it's a lock.
So that
permitting.
means that the permitting systems all have to work together. Is that what you're
And there
telling
are
me?
some towns that are doing it correctly,
Okay.
where everybody is on one loop so that you're not doing the old, carrying stuff around. But on the negative side, you have the person in conservation who you didn't pay the fees for whatever.
There
and they
goes the
put a lock on
Zen.
everybody. Yeah.
Kaden,
try to
did
be
you
slick.
get that? Did you get that? That's
You want to clip
In my
it?
class the other day, there was
Yeah,
like
Caden.
6 people jamming Zins. I'm like, I don't know if that's
It's a
you know,
bad sign
just
for
the
you.
way
You're not
things
keeping them
are.
up.
I just really suck at presenting this class, and you need to stay away.
So Steph says the things I learned on the show: keeping my gloves in the glove box now, and making sure to pay my bills, or else make a ruckus with the building inspector.
Yep.
Yes. See, this is why I love YouTube. Like their comments are
I can't see any
Insane.
comments today.
in the comment bar in the right. So the
Yeah.
first one I'm going to leave off because it's related to Regina again.
Inappropriate again?
Yes, inappropriate again.
Don't give out my number.
5 pyramids connect to an open portal. There you go, Caden. To
Thanks,
an open
kid.
portal in heaven, Egypt, North Pole, South Pole, Zine in Mexico.
Oh,
And then how about this one? Zine is for the gays. Copenhagen, wintergreen long cut for the win. Okay.
oh God.
What it-
That's right. When in high school he's got the bear on it.
Yeah.
Kodiak.
Yeah, whatever your thing is.
Do we have any new subscribers since we're so popular on YouTube?
Maybe, I don't know.
We need 1,000. Where
we
are
need
we?
1,000. We need 1,000. So all of our commenters this morning that have joined us, give us a follow
Subscribe.
so we can get more functionality with this thing. But let's talk about Chelsea. So
Uh,
I know I took a hard right turn there, but I think this somewhat falls in the same thing where people are just screwing up the permitting process by pandering for either votes or money.
Yeah.
In this one, the first in Illinois, they're pandering for money from the banks who friggin' donate, right? In Chelsea, they're pandering to voters. So, Caden, if you can throw up Chelsea's new change here. So they are going to now require landlords, and there's no provision for at least I didn't see any provision on the application for if you own a 2-family and you're renting one unit and you live in the other, you don't get a pass on this.
yeah,
Right?
I didn't see anything either.
So you're required to get a property manager's license through the city of Chelsea. You have to fill out a form. Steph says, Regina, YouTube queen. You have to fill out an application.
I need to know what the inappropriate comments were later.
Later. Screenshot it, Caden. So we don't lose it. You have to fill out a form at the city. You have to pay $150 application fee. You have to put all your information. And then they're like, if you're between, 0 and 8 units, you pay $350. If you're 8 to whatever, you pay $500. But I'm like, well, what's the application fee for? And that if you have a boatload, you're paying much less than a person that owns a 2-family, because there's there's a cap. There's 2 levels for it. Actually, let me see if I can pull it up.
So what? Hold on. What is
this
the what is the end
Points?
game here? Do people need to be trained? What are they talking about license? What is the enabling for it? Is it municipal ordinance? Where did they come up with this?
They had an ordinance. They passed an ordinance that said you're going to require to register with the city of Chelsea. And it says requires property manager's license. So I think they're calling this application a license.
So
Right.
not like
So
a
it's not-
rental registration,
But that's what I
No.
wasn't clear with. What?
but it's the actual property manager.
Yes. They basically want who are they going to call, all this other kind of stuff. But then I read something where they said you need to either be a licensed real estate agent or this or that. But I didn't see that coming from Chelsea. I saw that somewhere else.
The comments are pretty good though. Did you see the comments?
I read through them a little bit, and it's what people see it for, right? Money grab was like the most common.
Absolutely. Caden, in the background, see if you can look up there's an application form in Chelsea associated with this.
But what are they? So there needs to be some criteria. What are they hoping to establish?
So
by
they're let me say what their pitch on this, or what they're trying to spin this as. We're going to protect tenants. The majority of people in Chelsea are renters, they said,
Mhm.
and then this is going to protect tenants.
All the
I don't-
slumlords out there.
Yeah,
but how? What? Even if there was a slumlord, the slumlord registers. What are we doing with that slumlord now that they registered?
I mean, what are they going to send them fines if the property's not being maintained, or if the tenants are complaining?
I mean, we already have, right? So multifamily, 3 or more, supposed to every 5 years have a 110. The fire department goes out there more frequently, but they can't, obviously, they don't get to all the multifamilies, especially not in Chelsea. We have those requirements.
And I've done it. I mean, you can go to the assessing department. All the building owners' information's right there. Why do we just, you know what? Save them the thing. Send them a bill, copy and paste it from the assessor's office, and say, hey, here's the building owner, send them a thing.
And it's the building department who's enforcing it. It says
it doesn't say. It doesn't.
I'll call Mike. He texted me the other day.
Is he
That's
still
the
there?
thing.
Yeah, he is. He texted me on my birthday, so
Oh, what a nice guy.
I know.
Everyone, Mike turned 50 the
All
other
right,
day.
Reggie. Do we
Oh,
really have
that's
to go
not
about doing
right.
that? All right, let's
That's
start
not
reading
right.
comments from YouTube now.
Yeah. Oh, that's be good. Yeah, that'd be great. I
I'm
wonder if
trying to
we
get you some presents. People are going to send you presents.
Yeah, I
We're
don't know.
still waiting on Citywide's presents, by the way.
I
I
know.
don't know how to make money off of this stuff, right? How can we make money off of this? Can you now that we're on multiple streams, can you send me presents or do I got to go on
Yeah.
TikTok? I wonder if seeing how the slumlords would have to register. So, but here's the thing. So we're trying to protect tenants. That's great. What
Another way
vendors-
to protect the tenants. No one
Yeah.
protects the landlord.
in Massachusetts, landlords get screwed completely. If people are listening from outside of Massachusetts, it's absurd. You cannot evict a tenant. They could light your house on fire, and they can be running, a drug market, and they could be making crack. And you think you can't get rid of somebody in Massachusetts, like other states
No.
where they'll have the sheriff come and have them evicted after they haven't paid for X number of months. Massachusetts, nope, can't happen. You got to take them to court. Judge sides with them every time. So this is just strictly a vote grab. Who's the new person that's gonna do all this enforcement?
Right. And not for nothing, don't detract from the fact that there are some bad actors out there. There are some bad landlords, even in the high rent districts, right? Like,
Yeah.
I'm not going to get into too many stories, but the parapet situation that I used in one of my presentations was a guy that owned hundreds and hundreds of units, and it's all BU off-campus housing, hundreds. I mean, probably maybe closer to, 500 units. And that situation happened. The places were falling apart. The parapet fell on the ground. The units inside ended up, once we got inside, were awful. And I was standing out there with all the personnel, the fire department, police department. There's a guy standing next to me. I'm like, hey, are you the owner? He's like, no. I said, oh, somebody told me you were the owner. Nope, I'm not the owner. So I went over to the firefighter and said, I thought you told me he was the owner. He said he is. I went back. I said, hey, they just told me you were the owner. He said, no, an LLC owns it. That's what he said to me.
Technically, he's correct.
Guess who was the manager of the LLC? Mr. Dirty T-shirt standing out front of the building that now the parapet was done and we had to shut down the entire block. But anyway.
Yeah. So, all right. It's funny. We've turned some of our nasty commenters into participants, and they're chiming in on project management, property managers and all kinds of stuff. So welcome the wild YouTubers. I like
I
them.
wish I could see the comments.
I can't even see it, and I'm on YouTube on the side here.
Yeah, but if in StreamYard, go to comments, top right, and you should see them. You guys are,
son of a bitch.
there you go. Oh, you're on your phone, Reggie. That's why, right?
I'm on my iPad, so yeah, it's a different login. So I'm
happy birthday, Steph says to Mike. All right.
Thank you.
All right,
sorry,
so
Mike. I put you right out there on blast.
All right. So we had our negative ones. Illinois is stupid. Chelsea stupid. Bothell, not brothel.
Why don't you want to keep going on the negative shit, and then we'll get to a good one at the end? It's up to you. It doesn't really matter because you don't pay attention anyway to what we say. But
His mind's already made up.
I did. You want to go? Let's go. All right, but I would just want to have enough time to cover Bothell.
Just get LA.
Let's go to LA.
LA would be 2 minutes.
All right. LA, who can't, the poor people that had their homes burnt down a fucking year later still can't have a permit. Okay. But what did the city council do? They just passed it. Oh, we have the Paralympics coming and whatever. We're going to pass something to ease restrictions on permitting associated with Olympics. But the reason you see on the screen where it says no build Olympics, because LA pitches is we're not going to have to build any infrastructure for this. We're going to use all existing infrastructure. So presumably they were going to be like, we're green Olympics, right? But why do you need to ease the permitting process, building permit process, if we're not building anything? And they're saying, well, some of this stuff is temporary. Maybe some of it was, some of this is temporary. Maybe some of it will be permanent, but either way. But so they get into that one was behind a paywall, but I grabbed a different one, and they said the Department of City Planning presented and proposed an ordinance to exempt certain Olympic and Paralympic related temporary projects on private property from discretionary planning and zoning requirements. Oh, it's discretionary now?
Right.
Who decides
So-
it's discretionary? Can my building be discretionary?
We
Like,
can't let people rebuild their houses after a disaster, but we're going to ease and make sure that
The
we
Olympics.
ease up the zoning and the laws and whatnot for and I get the cause, but talk about double standard or exposing yourself for what the issue is, right?
yeah, but what's discretionary? If it's discretionary, why is it in the code?
Yeah.
Good point.
Can
Yeah,
they
that's
give me a list of which ones are discretionary? Because I want to
Uh,
know next time I go for a permit.
Don't get me going on. I always and I mean I'm not going to get political today, but it's a commentary on selective enforcement departments, like what building inspectors choose to enforce and what they don't enforce. Like come down, inevitably it ends up being the department, the city, the state of selective enforcement, the country of selective enforcement when it comes down to it.
Yeah, and who's the arbiter?
Yeah,
Who
nobody.
decides what's
People
discretionary?
are supposed to be the arbiter, but it doesn't work that way.
No, so it's going to be some politician that's going to decide what's discretionary and what's not. And I just want to make sure that everybody should keep a list of all the things that are discretionary for these Olympic permits. And when they go to file and they want to gig them on it, say, well, actually, that's on the discretionary list.
Right.
So let's waive it. That's like that one. What town were we talking about where they said the town attorney, it was when they were trying to like rebuild the blighted area. I forget what city that was.
Was it
and
the
It wasn't Crested Butte.
Butte?
It was the whatever that neighborhood was. They were trying to like revitalize the blighted neighborhood.
Oh,
And
yeah, there was out there Sacramento, wasn't it?
yes, yeah, it was near Sacramento, and they said the city attorney is going to decide whatever phrase is. And they're like, and if we hear any problems with their interpretation, then we'll bring it up. You can't, like, it's not arbitrary. It's either in the code or it's not, or discretionary is the word they want to use. So yeah, LA, fucking take every politician there and fucking shoot them to the moon. Like they should all go, wipe them all out, every one of them, go away. Like I thought the Trump executive order to step in, like I think that's a bad idea. The federal government shouldn't be in there issuing home permits. But my God, they're making me want to say, let the feds go in. I do not want that. I don't want the state. I want the cities and towns deciding what gets built. But if you screw things up anymore, I mean, come on, this is insane. And it's insulting. I would be so insulted if I was trying to get my home built. I'm homeless because my house burnt down and I lost everything. And we're going to use some discretion for the Olympics.
Right.
It's like, fuck right off. I'm trying not to swear in this thing because like it hurts the
Our
numbers.
ratings
but
are gonna go
screw the
down.
numbers because it's just so.
Well,
it's
the comment that it was
evil.
supposed to be a construction list or building list, they were going to utilize existing facilities, and now they're coming back and all of a sudden passing this, legislation that they're going to ease zoning and whatnot is even more ridiculous.
Brother Bear's going hard in the comments today. I like him. He brings the energy. We got to get him a wake up angry sweatshirt.
Slowly figuring Brother Bear out.
Yeah, we got to get him to the live show.
Yeah.
So all right, let's hit. Oh, we got 15 minutes for Bothell.
Here we go.
Any other comments on LA?
No,
I'm not going there anytime soon to pull a permit.
nah, I know.
You guys have an office there.
We do have an office.
I didn't know you had an office in LA.
Well,
Yeah,
no,
they do
it's
quite a bit in California.
yeah. We actually, I don't even know if we have two offices. There used to be two.
Steph says, "Boo, LA." That's right. So a town that seems to be doing something right. Bothell did upzoning.
Yep.
Okay, so they basically said that, if you're so the state of Oregon quite a while ago kind of mandated statewide that you can't have single family only residential lots anymore. So you have a minimum of 2. Bothell has bumped it up. They said if you can build a 2 there, I'm going to paraphrase here. Basically, if you can build a 2 there, now you can build a 4. If you can build a 4, you can build an 8. If you can build a 16, you can build a 32. They jacked it up tremendously.
Right.
And they also, which I loved, and we can talk about a little more, they commercial first floor is allowed,
Mhm.
even in residential areas. So suburban neighborhoods, I'm a big fan of that. A lot of people will probably bristle at that, but we can talk about it and why I like it. But the other thing they did here is not only drastically jump up the amount you can build, but they also put a minimum. And I'm curious, Mike, have you seen this before?
The minimum?
Yeah. So
No,
what they
the only place I've seen the minimum is recently here is what Cambridge just did a minimum number of stories, but not anything like this.
Yeah, so what they're saying is if the zoning allows for 32 units in the area, you cannot build less than 50%.
Yeah.
So you would have to build 16 units.
No, and that's, you want to talk about, going the opposite way where everything is limit, right? That's the way to get people to build. If you actually want to build, doesn't matter how many times you say we want 200,000 units and we affordable housing friendly, unless you're actually putting your money where your mouth is, which is what they're doing here, it's all for naught.
Yeah, I mean that's wild because think about if you're in a thing where they would allow 20 units in that zone and you want to
Right.
go there and build a 4-family, they're gonna be like, nope, you got to build 10 units or we're denying your permit.
Right.
You want to build less. Every other place in the country, they would be thrilled,
Yep.
right? All the neighbors would be happy. Everybody would be like, this is stunning. I was legitimately stunned when I saw it.
Yeah, and that's a double-edged sword, right? Because you have developers that want to go in that may be able to afford and have the investors that have the money backing them to do 4, and they go in, and the municipality's like, nope, can't do 4. You got to build 8, right? So now you're looking at cost of construction. But for those people that do want to build, and the people that are out there that have, the backing, you can get it done now, right? And that's what's happening there. Their construction, the number of units and the number of permits has gone through the roof.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
seeing a positive number of units, a
Huge.
number of applications. Yeah.
But here's what's interesting, because all along we've said when people go and they would come out and say we're banning single family zoning, and everyone's like, oh, they're banning single families. No, they're not. They're saying that you just can't restrict the zoning in the area to only single families, right? So if you look at what Oregon has done here, is they said statewide, we're going to require 2 units to be allowed everywhere. Okay, so you can't have single family only. So you have to allow somebody to build 2 if they want. Bothell said we're doubling that, so you have to build at least 4. Right? No, you can build 4 in that area, and you have to build at least half. So that means if you want to show up and build a McMansion on a lot, you can't.
Right.
And
It
this
would
is,
not be allowed. You would have to build at least 2.
this is a pretty wealthy community, right?
I didn't look up. What were you seeing about it? I'm surprised if it's wealthy because
Yeah, I don't.
usually
Yeah,
the wealthier
it's
communities.
Washington, right?
Washington
Washington State.
State.
If I hit my,
Here's the
I
thing.
looked
in
at-
Oregon. Sorry.
Ready? Here's some truth for you, and I've said it before, especially around here. Like the wealthier the community, the more involved they are in the causes, but at the same time, it's NIMBY, right? Around here,
Yes.
you cannot the wealthy communities. So I'd be shocked if that was median income of some substantial. It just doesn't.
Median income of 137 to 138,000.
Yeah, so that's
Yeah,
not
it's not
wealthy, but it's not.
low income by any means.
Yeah, it's not low income. So
Yeah.
so
I'll come back.
let's take this the other, and I'm just looking now on some statistics. Is so the zoning is great. What they're doing, I think, is great, right? It pushes out some small developers, I think, but you still have zones where you can build. But it does, I think, shit or get off the pot. That's what Brother Bear just said.
Yes.
So I think
Brother Bear.
he hit that one on the head. That's
Yeah,
what
well,
it is. Like
that's what
if
that's
you
what they're
wanna-
forcing. They're forcing
yes,
them.
they're saying
to
you
do it.
want to build, okay, here you go. You have the ability to build. I'm curious with that, with the number of permits that have gone out the door and the ones that are startups or starts. I'm wondering what their permit process is like, if they're actually pushing permits out the door. They didn't show up. I think a while back we did efficiency. Maybe we didn't. I don't know. But there is a website that tracks efficiency on states.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And says, who is the most efficient state. Washington State didn't show up on there. But I'm wondering what their permit process is like, and if they're pushing out. I was actually with the state building official from Washington when I was down in Orlando, but we were talking more about energy codes and whatnot. So
Yeah. The other interesting things is applications that were already in. They're making them go back and add.
right.
So there
Right.
was one that they were looking to build like 9 townhouses that they had all set up.
Yep.
And then they're having them add an additional 10-unit building on the lot with the 9 units,
Right.
which is wild. Hey, Caden, can you throw up the pre-application chart from this article? So they have, it seems like this is an existing thing where there's a pre-application where it goes in and they review it. If you're searching for the Cambridge thing, I can probably throw it up, Caden. Pre-app. So
I'm applying for a permit right now in Washington.
yeah. So if you look, they said over the last 5 years, they were averaging 580 pre-applications.
Yep.
Let me see if we got chat. Not seeing it. It's up now. Oh, you're not seeing the form. Got it. So look at that, right? So they're averaging, back in 2020, housing was booming, and they've well exceeded that, right? They're up to 1,000 pre-applications with this change, which is huge. And that's showing that we have action. And now what they said is, I think 90% of permits historically, 90% of projects entering the pre-application typically end up seeing permits issued. So
Right.
we'd be talking about 900 permit issued. And now you look at the chart and say, wow, that's stunning alone. But in 2020, they had 800, but that was before the upzoning. So this is going to be 1,000 permits, but double the amount of units.
Yep.
So that's actually going to be like the equivalent of having 2,000 in 2020 terms.
Right.
So, I mean, this is a home run. And if this thing works, every other city that's claiming they want housing, follow Bothel's suit.
Yeah. There's
Right.
a way to get there. It's people need to loosen up on their, how we've always done things, right? That's cliche, is people say, oh, we've always done it this way. That's the most dangerous phrase. But it's the same people that are saying that are doing it the same way.
Yes. Well, because it's what you said, right? Which is that these usually, I'm going to stereotype here, usually wealthy communities, right? Affordable housing, we need to take care of this, we need to take care of that. Just like when migrants got shipped to Martha's Vineyard. Oh, they found a private plane to send them out quick.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? Like, I thought we were gonna, I thought we wanted to, that community was all about, accepting migrants. Oh, yeah, well, we want to accept the United States, but can't have them on Martha's Vineyard. Remember, they said there's not enough room.
There's not enough room. Yeah.
Not enough room.
Resources.
So I'm sure somebody stroked a check to get a private jet and fly him out of there. Right.
Yeah.
So that hypocrisy is everywhere. They talked about a townhouse project that would have maxed out at 18 units. is now advancing as 79 units.
Yeah.
So
Crazy.
it it might not be more than double. I mean, so that could be like 3,000. It's
Yep.
It's really wild. Anything else in there jump out at you guys?
No, it was just, they're doing it right. People have to, there's just this framework, this, urban planning thought process that I don't think works all the time. Right. And there are people that are thinking outside the box, but there's a combination of things between the urban planning and the permitting process, but people need to start, if the government, the state really wants 200,000 units, right? Which is, I think that's aim high, settle low possibly. But if they do want 200,000 units, things need to change, right? Things need to change at the local level we talked about as far as permitting and red tape, which we saw Boston last week, did a decent job as far as we'll see how it pans out as far as removing some barriers. But it's got to work at both levels, zoning, right? And again, we don't want zoning to go to the state, but that's where it's going. That's where the state's going to control zoning. I talked about this about 5 years ago. We talked about the state controlling zoning altogether, making it centralized zoning for the state, which would be a terrible, terrible thing. And that's been a discussion for a while because the municipalities aren't doing the right thing. But if we're going to get 200,000 units, you have to think outside the box, and it's got to be something different than you're doing now, right? And the red tape needs to disappear if you're going to accomplish that.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit, because the Instagram folks that have been watching us for years kind of have already seen this theme playing out. And what we've been telling people now for years, and even before doing this live, we've been talking about it on social media, which is there are a lot of trends happening, right? Upzoning, meaning like we're seeing here in Bothell, this type of thing is happening across the country. Statewide zoning is a trend that's happening. And I don't even want, it's a trend. It's real. It's not like it's coming. It's here, and it's happening in more and more places. So we're going to see more upzoning. As Mike was just saying, we're going to see more statewide zoning, which my opinion is bad. We should have local control, and people in their town should decide. But to Mike's point, when the cities and towns are boxing everybody out and just preventing people from being able to live in their own town that they grew up in or that they want to move to, if they're just preventing that and all the people in the town are just kind of controlling things and only want to hang on to their property values, like it's going to force the voters to show up. They're going to do ballot questions. What we're going to see, we're seeing statewide zoning laws are happening. We're also seeing building code changes, single stairs, right? So a lot more single stair buildings getting higher and higher. It's on the docket here in Massachusetts. One state.
3 hours.
Yep.
2.5 hours.
Today?
Yep. It's going to be discussed today. Some states went to 6, some states just upped from 3 to 4, some went to 5, but it's all happening. And also pushing off of energy codes. People have mentioned that they like us to revisit stuff. We've talked about Vermont. They went backwards in their energy code. They adopted an energy code. Everybody bought the books and everything. And then the governor stepped in and said, nope, forget it. Get rid of that book. We're going back to the old one, which is unheard of. And now another little update is HUD had delayed the implementation of the 2021 energy code. They said, no, we're not going to make people build that yet. And now they just went back in again. So I think they pushed it from like January to from like May to January. And now they're saying, no, we're going to push it to December. No, it was May. They said, okay, it was supposed to go into effect January. They said, we're going to push it to May. And now they showed up and said, nope, we're not going to enact it in May. We're going to push it to December. And I'm not going to be shocked to see it get pushed to 2027.
It's expensive. That's why.
Yeah.
But no one will just come out and say it.
Yeah, I say it every time I do a presentation.
You do. Who else?
You know what's interesting? Let's just take a look real quick. You don't know if it's expensive or who gets to accept this. You look at the communities that have adopted the all-electric code, right? Look at the communities: Acton, Lexington, Concord, Newton, Brookline, Cambridge. Do I have to say anything about the commentary there about Lincoln? Right. So these are all communities who are high-end communities who adopted. It's a rich person's code, period. Right.
Yep. Completely. And I love this. So Timmy says, always leaving the catnip from Mike until the end. Yeah, this is right in Mike's wheelhouse. Cathal says, are we seeing you all at the Irish Construction Network
Yes.
Patty's Day
Oh
event?
yeah, when is that?
March 5th. March 5th.
I'm
Hey,
not
hey,
Irish.
wait a minute,
You guys
wait.
gonna let me in?
We're gonna let you in.
Sure?
I'm gonna bless you right now. I'll get my incense out. Your St. Patrick is your favorite saint. He's now your patron saint. And
For the day.
No,
Just for
St.
one
the day.
Patrick, Regina, St. Patrick, not Patriarcha. St. Patrick.
so Reggie, Saint Joseph is gonna have to take a day off from your relics, and you're gonna have to put St. Patrick's up there, and we'll bring you. But wait, Cathal is offering a chauffeur.
Really?
So yes, we accept. Send us and Cathal as a born Irish citizen, he's letting you in as well.
Thank
So,
you, Cathal. Is
we
he going to
will,
be the chauffeur?
Maybe.
Next
Well,
week
he's going to
we'll put
bring
the
us in his
graphic up.
350. What did you say?
Next week we'll put the graphic up next week, but it's March 5th at the Dubliner, which is right in front of City Hall downtown. I believe it's 5 p.m. start. Cathal,
I think like
chime
5
in
to
if
8.
but we'll put the graphic up next week. We can grab that, and everyone come. The construction area people who want to have a discussion, and it should be great. Pre
No one's
Patty's
going to want to
Day.
have a
pre-St. Patty's
discussion.
Day.
Everyone just wants to drink that day.
Yeah, but that's what ends up happening is things flow. It gives you the gift of gab, right?
Yes,
Ishkabaha. Ishkabaha.
Yep.
The water of life.
Cathal says 5:30 to 8. Brother Bear's in Texas. He wants to come.
Brother Bear,
Texas is
we're going to
better.
I
get
want
you
a
a
cowboy
chauffeur.
hat. I want a cowboy hat and cowboy boots, and you're in, brother. Yeah, maybe. Hey, maybe it's going to be the live show at the St. Patty's Day.
Oh yeah, we can do that. We can go
Event.
live from the Dubliner.
That'll go over great. Hang on, I need to. This should have been done sooner. Caden, you're sleeping. So we got to get citywide up there.
One job, Caden. One job.
Yeah, you
He
got
has
one
a lot
job.
of jobs.
Yeah, he does.
Come on, you couldn't
Poor
find
kid, he has to listen to you all day.
Oh, he has to read the. Oh, look at this! All right,
that's
look at that.
interesting.
Cathal, you got to send Kate a sweatshirt or something.
There's a
My
sign up,
goodness.
free sign up. It's on Eventbrite. Go ahead and search it up on Eventbrite. We'll put the link up next week, but it's on
People don't-
Instagram, Irish Construction Network.
People don't know the building. What is called Center Plaza, Mike? Right, it's the curved one right across from City Hall.
Yep, the Dubliner. Some of you might want to be careful because right upstairs is the FBI office. So
Across the street.
Yeah,
No.
I don't.
Aren't they across the street now?
I don't know, whatever. I spent longer getting into an inspection than the inspection I actually did, for God's sakes. But
Yeah. All right, we are over. Thanks to Pete will be there. Pete's a good Irishman. Pete Walsh.
Yep.
We got to get him there. Now I got to make sure I actually show up to this thing. Now I'm running my mouth like, oh, we'll be there. We'll do this. We'll do that. Now I gotta figure it out. I gotta check the
March
date.
5th.
Well, you have a chauffeur, so you're fine, Joe.
Yeah, Cathal's gonna get us in his 350, his Ford 350, and drive us.
It has a cap on the back. Don't worry about it. We'll
Yeah,
be
it
fine.
won't be that cold. All right, we're over. Thanks everyone. Thanks to our diehards forever from Instagram. We love you guys the most, and we'll see everybody next week.
All right. See ya.
Thanks, folks.